Sorry, excuse me. Good evening. I'm Justin Kapani, the founder and CEO of I'm Decor Design. We're in the business of designing and manufacturing home and office decor and interior solutions. So, cheers on a nice cup of Taj Mahal chai. No more of Taj Mahal, but yes, ji Huzur wa Taj boliye moment for me because the chapter before me, which I was reading, and I was just taken a walk and I've come back, was about self reflection, honest self reflection, which helps you kind of take decisions around a lot of stuff and all, okay? So, of lately, I've been sharing different kind of videos and stuff, and it seems that people want to talk and people want to discuss this topic on love and stuff like that. But I think I will keep that for later because I'm more interested in sharing something which is presently, because it's Tuesday, it's only the second day of the week and stuff. It's going to be useful for people, um for office work in personal lives and stuff like that. And also, I don't want to kind of lose my focus, and I want to stay, kind of. Taking myself forward on planning on my next task before me and stuff. Okay, so planning is a crucial part of your self reflection and stuff, because when you kind of take assessment of what's worked for you, what's not worked for you and stuff, it's not that amazing a task, because when you think about it, everything looks like you've done amazing and you've done great. But when you go through this self reflection thingy of what went wrong, what could have worked better, you tend to kind of go through some unnecessary or unpleasant memories or experiences in your mind and stuff. Well, of course, I mean, it's not like you kind of have them in your mind all the time. You just let go of them and then you're like, okay, let's look at what's worked and let's make this list A and B. What's worked, what's not worked. So let's focus on making what's worked and what's working better for us, and let's focus on probably trying to make what's not worked for us even better this time and stuff. Okay, so this is how self reflection helps. It's not about people when you're at work. Usually, it's about your own contribution, what you bring on the table, your own value, your own knowledge, your own sets, and stuff like that. And of course, when you work as a team, it's all about teamwork and stuff. So, since I mentioned that I'm talking on joy a lot of lately, because I believe daily joy is very important, so I'm going to kind of link this to joy. This is a couple. This is a CEO of a media company. One of them was a producer, and the lady was a co-founder. Her husband was the producer, and she was a co-founder of the company. And both of them had this thing about focusing on tasks until they were done. And as a result of that, both of them used to be like really stressed out and what was the term? She said exhausted, that she didn't even feel like doing anything new and stuff, and she said, I used to literally come back not wanting to get back, and I never really made myself slow down or even kind of update myself with latest books or movies and stuff. Whereas my husband, on the other hand, he himself would update himself with latest books, musical CDs, DVDs, play with the daughters, help in the housework, and he makes time to relax. And I'm just the opposite. I'm forever writing a book. I'm like normally feeling exhausted and overwhelmed by deadlines and stuff. So now when I have to manage so much between office and work and stuff, how do I do so much of it? So it's not like people think that they're the only ones who are working and stuff. Everybody works. So the thing is this, that how do people continue coming back feeling bright and beautiful the next morning? It's because they have this thing about waking up feeling excited, or they feel something. I mean, it's not just excitement. I mean, it's something which is, it's not even passion. I mean, it's something more than that, because, see, passion is something which can also be linked to your talent, or it can be linked to a hobby or an idea, or let's say you're making a movie, or you have a musical video you're working on. So as long as the musical video or the movie is happening, your passion is there. The moment it's over, then it should be the opposite, that you spiral down and you don't have any, like energy, or you don't have any will to go forward and stuff, So passion as an external motivational factor doesn't work like a very good idea. I think what's really important is to feel joyful around your work, and is to kind of feel excited and creatively inspired would be the right word and stuff. Okay, so if you feel, if you feel good listening to music when you're traveling to work, that should be working as a that should work as maybe a catalyst for you to drive maybe an hour and half an hour, 1 hour 45 minutes, and people do 2 hours 3 hours. I've done it. I've been by the metro to all parts of Delhi, and there's a picture of mine on social media where I've literally, uh, seen the whole map of Delhi, and I think I've done most of Delhi by metro. Okay, and if you tell me now, like yesterday I was supposed to go somewhere towards South Delhi City Fort, and I realized that we've got this thing of the pollution thing rule happening, and some of the cars are off the road and stuff. I have to go by metro, but I'm much better. But given the way I was requested, or I was expected to travel and stuff, where I can't hear, or and I'm not in a position to even smell stuff because of medicines. I don't want to go by metro, but I'm excited, and I was all energy full on to go there. Unfortunately, this thing happened and all. So what my experience taught me is that you may have challenges like these coming your way and stuff, but the point is to kind of find a catalyst which kind of inspires you and motivates you, or pushes you out of your doors, out of your cars, to take that journey, or to take that it's not even an adventure, it's not even a mission, to take that just take the next action of sitting in your car or in a metro and just doing it. So there have been times when people have invited me to events and stuff, and they've asked me to come to Gurgaon, or they've asked me to come like really far away places and stuff, and I'm like, well, the distance is so far and stuff. But the point is, the very fact that I'm going by metro, even if I'm tired, or let's use the word exhausted, or I've had a tied up previous evening or something, I've gone and I made up for it and stuff. So what's kept me going? It's not that I found the distance tedious. It's just that the whole approach or outlook towards going by metro makes my life a lot easier. So when you're kind of doing your planning doesn't just mean once you get into the office, that's when your planning starts. Planning starts the previous night, the previous evening. How you're going to go about things, and you have to reach office, looking at the given scenario of pollution and the stupid challenge thrown at you of certain number of cars are applying, or transportation is an issue and stuff, and then you don't even have sometimes a metro on that route and stuff. So planning now has to change as per this transportation thingy, that हम घर से निकलेंगे, ऐसे जाएंगे, हम ऐसे ऑटो से जाएंगे, रिक्शा से जाएंगे. That's the way it is now. So that gives you an unnecessary task of kind of focusing more on your transportations and on your roadmap to the city travel and stuff and all that. The positive of it is that you learn more about the city. The positive is you have more survival instincts coming to play. You're grasping more of reality. You're going to prioritize more of reaching on time, and waking up on time, getting ready on time, and getting people at home and your family to kind of respect time as well and stuff. So when I look at this lady's story, who's a founder, and she's married to this producer, this is the way her life was. And the point is, my suggestion and my tip was that probably if you would just take an off, and you would not just look so busy or be so busy, because that's the way you trained yourself, and that's the way you've been doing it. Probably 60% of your time you could spend on just doing, like maybe writing a book and doing this work and stuff, and 40% you try and balance it out with other things. What did you do before you started writing a book? What did you enjoy doing the most? So if you can learn to write a book, and if you can learn to do different things as a CEO running a media company, and married to a producer, I'm sure you can unlearn that, and you can also learn how to not write a book in that 40% and learn new things with that 40%, I hope I'm making sense and stuff, So now, people like me who are traveling by road or by metro are also learning a lot of new things and stuff, So you're grasping realities and you're learning about the city, transportation, metro. You're absorbing new ideas, new branding, and new creative things. You're looking at fashion, you're looking at people, you're looking at the way people talk, and you're looking at what the ministers are doing, the country is doing, what the radio campaign is, what the TV campaigns are, what the billboards are, what the city cleanliness levels are and stuff, so your daily life is not just about planning this way, it's about this way, so I'm here to remind you this, that keep a level of surprise element open for yourself. कभी भी कुछ भी हो सकता है, and the thing is this, that it's nice to have structure and discipline and stuff, but the point is, avoid being too super dependent on just your cars and your drivers and stuff, and try and incorporate this thing about being flexible, because when you prioritize flexibility and mostly, discipline and reaching on time as a major task, then everything starts to kind of flow in place. Whether you have tempers flaring, or you have panic at home or at work or whatever, the point and task of reaching on time at least gets accomplished. And if that's the mission, or that's the task that you're supposed to achieve and stuff, so be it, So, in a nutshell, joy, yes, joy. So, joy, 40% of your time if you have joy. So, make time for your music, make time for the movies that you've missed out on, make time for the hobbies, make time for your dogs, make time for pampering yourself, make time for haircuts and new clothes and shopping and malling and, trying new cuisines and revamping your house and your wardrobe and kind of, maybe a holiday, maybe a vacation, new cassettes, new books, and new carpeting, or new lipsticks, or new accessories, or new makeup, or whatever works for you, So I can't believe it when people tell me that, there's no room for anything new in my life here. I find it like, what are you saying, so the best relationship you can have is, yes, your relationship with your own self, but not just with work, So the point is, this should be able to spark joy in you, that 60% of you is the old you, and 40% is the new you. So in that new reflection of a 60-40% rule, try and have 40% new, and 60% old is also still good, but there's always room for improvement and stuff, So I shall do another share where I realized that also, uh, you know, um, prioritizing work tasks also is important, It's not just about planning. So prioritizing work tasks also becomes equally important when you have 10 different things to do and stuff. So I understand where this woman came from and stuff. So I've noted this thing about her story here. So if, like her, you feel overwhelmed, or you feel what the hell, so much happening, and like me, you've had to cancel out on a few meetings and stuff and all that, maybe you can write a letter to the concerned local authorities and the ministers to take a stock of the situation and stuff, and not get furious and not get exhausted by the deadlines and everything around you. Find your center, find your peace, listen to some nice music, and the only way to deal with it is to, make use of the simple things before you. Enjoy the chai, enjoy the coffee, enjoy the slowing down. I mean, I've not been able to make it for that meeting yesterday, which was a really important one, but I have no regrets, So I was like, so be it, yeah, so be it. Maybe there are 10 more waiting in the way for me, or whatever, So the 80-20 rule also comes in handy. I've shared this long time back on 80-20 rule, where you should actually be revising and improving. 80% is the result of your improvement, and 20% is your efforts. So next, so love and luck, take care, have fun, have a blast, enjoy, and keep yourself warm. And instead of focusing only so much on productivity and karna hai, karna hai, karna hai, karna hai, Think about the things that are seriously more important, prioritize them, because that's how you're going to do all of them. If everything becomes a priority, then nothing is important. Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, the most important, start working backwards on that, and definitely joy at work, most important. So cheers, Ji Azur, Wah Taj, positive chi, good energy, chai ke saath. Have a great Tuesday ahead and a nice weekend ahead. Sorry, a nice week, a nice Wednesday ahead. I'm so sorry, I'm a little spaced out and stuff. You never know, it could be the brain fog because of the weather and stuff. I just said it in passing, all right? So avoid linking any goddamn thing that you read in anything you follow on social media or on videos like mine with yourself. It's just a joke. It's just supposed to tell you that be in the moment so I at least know what I'm saying. Yeah? So love and luck and take care and have fun and have a blast. Yeah? Bye bye.